Chains by Boss. Chains by Boss is now the official sponsor of the Cowboy Up podcast. If you need your custom cowboy chains, you go to Chains by Boss. You can find them on any of your social media. You can find them on TikTok, Chains by Boss on TikTok. You can find them also on Instagram, Chains by Boss, and you can also find them on Facebook. Chains by Boss will deliver the hottest new cowboy chains for you, and we recognize them as our official Cowboy Podcast sponsor. Thanks. And always, Dallas Cowboys for life. Peace.
I know that's a cliche, but we must win. We will win. Win is the name of the game.
Check it out.
From Stop 6, Texas, it's the big fella. It's Dallas Cowboy Chris. And from the 915, El Paso, Texas, it's 21, Armando. 21. And from the capital city of Texas, Austin, the Hill Country, is our man, Retrofit Sports. It's Rue. And from the great state of Arizona, he's Mikey. 520.
Stephen A. Smith will admit this team right here is legit, cause this is our year. This is our year. No wonder they be hating, cause this is our year. This is our year. This is our year. It's time to finish this fight, cause this is our year. The name of the game is win, we them Cowboys. First down, second down, we them Cowboys. Third down, touchdown, we them Cowboys. Everybody over here be some Cowboys. We be die hard, we be die hard, we be that blue.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Man, it's a game day. It's a game day for the Dallas Cowboys. Man, welcome to the Cowboy Podcast pregame show, man. We got two special guests. Y'all know him, man, from the Dallas Cowboys Cowboy Corner is Mike. What's up, Mike?
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me, man. Ready to talk this football, dude.
Now, this is the super special guest. Now, we put him in the super special guest section of the show. This is my man, Paul Stewart from Glasgow, Scotland, and a member of the World's Team Podcast. Paul, what is up, baby?
I am doing fantastic, brother. And yeah, man, I'm just excited the fact that football is back, baby. I'm really happy, man. Really happy.
Man, I'm excited also. So we decided at the last minute, hey, we're gonna do a quick pregame show. So I started making calls. I call Mike. Mike is always in. All you do is call Mike. When I say, hey, Mike, he say yes. I don't even get to my sentence out. Mike like yes. So I shot Paul a text on WhatsApp, because he's in Glasgow. It's 8:30 at night in Glasgow, and I say, Paul, hey man, you would be interested in doing a pregame? Hell yeah, Chris. I'm like, okay, and I got the email for all you ladies that need his email address. I got it. Okay. I know y'all digging that accent and everything. You want something special in your life. I understand. That's Paul. but look, man. Let's get into our Cowboys today, man. We're just gonna start off right off the break. Paul, brother, yes. Who are you more excited or are you looking forward to seeing today in today's game? Who are you looking forward to seeing?
So I've got two. So I'm really interested to see in the battle of the 4-5 receiver position with Tyler Billett Johnson and Moreno Cropper, etc., just to see how they're going to elevate in a real game situation, and also the batter of the center position with Brock Hoffman and Cooper Beebe. That's what I'm really interested to see, and give us a more good outline where things are going to go with this offense. But also, I probably would say on the defensive side, Kalen Carson. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do in a game situation.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, I really want to see him, and then I want to see Nealon also. Mike, man, who you got? Who are you looking forward to seeing today, Mike?
No, it has to be Trey Lance. I think for first and foremost, we got to look at Trey Lance. We gave him a fourth round pick for this guy, and they were singing his praises 2 months ago before all this happened. His arm got better, his footwork got better. He's taking ownership. He's doing this. I need to see that translate. I get it what he did in practice. Sometimes you could be a good practicer, and sometimes you could be a good player. Is this the case for Trey Lance? Because these practices, he did not look any good. So I'm looking at Trey Lance here, big fella Armando, and the guy from UK. Trey Lance is my guy.
Trey Lance. All right. So 21. Say, man, who are you looking forward to seeing today, man?
I'm with Mike. I'm with Mike on this. I'm in corner, Trey Lance. But for me, also, it's Guyton. We let go of our Hall of Famer Tyron Smith, right? We let go of him, so we obviously drafted, and I want to see what we're gonna replace him with. This was a big draft for us. Those left tackles they don't come a dime a dozen, right? So it's definitely a must watch with Tyler Guyton for sure.
Right, Tyler. Okay, so man, let me tell you who I am really, really, and this is probably obvious to every one of y'all on this show. Mozzie, 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 and Mozzie. Okay, I told the guys on our show, man, I wanted Mozzie in the joint practice against the Rams to go out and just start a fight. Because I just want to see some fight in Mozzie, man. I just want to see an attitude, man, like he had at Michigan. Okay, that's what I want. I want him to come out there and show, hey, man, I'm a number one pick for a reason. Okay, and right now it hadn't been a reason to get excited about Mozzie. Just like I said in the previous TikTok, man, he played the least amount of snaps as a number one pick in Dallas Cowboy history.
Shit.
That is bad.
That's bad.
That's bad. So everybody already got this preconceived notion about Michigan players for the Cowboys.
Charlton.
Oh no! Listen. I think we can actually get onto the positive side now because there's been one of our best players in this training camp, and that's Jordan Lewis. Of all people, I was really shocked. Like the fact that he's a long-time veteran with the Cowboys. People were slating him before we signed him in that new contract. It's like, why did we sign Lewis and not Awuzie at the time? But by God, Jordan Lewis has been performing fantastic in this training camp.
Right, but hey, there he is, man. One of the co-hosts for the Cowboy podcast. There is Mikey mic'd up. Mikey, what's happening, baby?
Hey, the studio's under construction. Sorry if my mic and it coming off my earpiece sounds like crap, but hey, it's good times. It's like our adults or adult male Christmas. Where, like I always say, we're all boys with money, and this is like Christmas to us, watching actual a semblance of football, and then we have something really to talk about. What is the season that you call when where we're trying to make content corner, the makeup season? Now this is something we could really talk about. So I love what you guys are doing right now.
If you guys don't know this, Mikey has a mobile studio. He's in the mobile studio right now.
It's kind of like a mobile blood unit when you try to go give blood. They in that little thing. So, Mikey, same question to you, Mikey. Who are you looking forward to, man, seeing today?
The wide receiver room is packed, and everybody's been shining. One day it's one guy, one day it's another. So who's popping? Who's compensating for the dilemma that we have? Of course, Brock Hoffman is our guy, and that's our pet cat, and we want to see him dominate. But for the most part, I want to see which receiver steps up because there's always a story that comes out of camp. As a matter of fact, we lost a wide receiver to the Jimmy Smith to the Jaguars, ends up almost being close to a Hall of Famer, and he came out of nowhere. A player that got cut and then picked up somewhere else. Who is going to be that guy? Who maybe we could have that kid to fulfill our needs as far as our lack of size because we've hit a bunch of midgets. So we'll see.
That's kind of true, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, and then you know what? I feel like I got overdressed. Like I put on my blue jersey. I thought would be Blues jerseyed up. Is this preseason? Did I come overdressed? Should I just kept my blue shirt on? Did I not get the memo?
No, no,
When this
no.
when this cowboy clothes, you ain't never under. You ain't never
Yeah, yeah,
overdressed.
you never underdressed, man. Hey,
Well,
I normally don't throw my jersey on until regular season, but hey, all the cowboy gear we got,
yeah.
you're never underdressed.
Maybe I just wanted to throw my Troy Aikman on a little too fast. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. You was
Yeah.
yeah, you was thinking about Troy. Okay, so we already said who we're looking forward to seeing in the game. Now, this is another thing I'm really looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing Zimmer's defense. Okay. The difference, the changes, where people are going to be lined up. I know Mike is not going to play today. We know that. We know most of the starters is probably not going to play. But I'm looking to see a little aggressiveness from the defense, how they're going to perform, what our safety's going to do, especially our corners, because I think that's the deepest room on our team is our secondary. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. Cowboy Corner, what you think about it?
Yeah, no, I think you're going to see some good things coming out of this defense. How do these linebackers play? Do they play comfortable? Do they play fast? These corners, seatbelt Carson, as UK mentioned. How do these guys play with the safety position? How does Marquise Bell look transitioning back to his safety position? Coming up, playing, coming up, hitting. Is he going to be a box safety? Is he going to be a traditional strong? There's a lot of questions. I don't know if we're all going to get it answered in 3 weeks of preseason, but it's something that I'm definitely keeping an eye out for to say, oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Paul.
Yes.
What do you think about the D, man? What are you looking for? You think Zimmer's defense is gonna be anything similar, or is it gonna be totally different?
I think it's going to be a more simplified approach. Like, if anyone wants to know what Mike Zimmer's like, if you go back to his Hard Knocks with the Cincinnati Bengals, that will give you a definitive idea of the type of coach that Mike Zimmer is. And he always tends to be that more hands-on, like, approach talking to his players. But it's a very simplified plan that he has. Like, if you're a nose tackle, you're a nose tackle only. If you're a defensive end, you're a defensive end. There's none of this hybrid shifting from defensive end to dropping back as a linebacker or anything like that. There's none of this hybrid defense. Like, you're basically moving from one position to the other. So I think he's taking the more less is more approach where it comes to the defense. So that's what I'm a big fan of. And we're actually starting to see that with certain players during training camp where it's actually been quite beneficial. So I'm really interested to see, like, for me, like, I really want to see, like, so some of the guys, like, we've not really heard much from training camp, like, this year's draft pick, Justin Rogers, who's going to be essentially back up to Mazzy. We've not heard much about him at all. How much is he going to feature? Like, is he going to be a guy that's going to be able to rotate in when Mazzy's not on the field, etc.? So I'm really willing to see how well these backups are going to do as well. Like, is there going to be a bridge of a gap between our starters and to the next man up? I want to see that gap really become as close to your starter level as much as possible.
Right. So, Mikey, what you think about Zimmer's defense, man, going forward?
I think Paul has it wrong. I think he has it backwards. Zimmer's defense is going to be more complicated than the vanilla defense that Q had. It was very basic. It was very base. It was very zone centric. You are who you are. I think when you had the hybrid guys, that was more out of necessity and depth. It wasn't because he wanted to do it. So I think that was more Marquise had to be there because we were light in the ass if we didn't have enough ass in the room. So now we have ass in the room. But as far as Mike Zimmer's defense, it's going to be more disguised. There's instances where you have Tank Lawrence on one side, and then you have Micah Parsons on one side. One goes in and one goes in, and one zone blitzes out. So they're disguising their scheme. I think you got a little bit backwards, Paul. Hey, my name is Mike, by the way. This is a good way to introduce each other. But I think you're wrong in that perception of what our defense is going to be. I think it's going to be a little more complicated, and they're going to have to study up and know what the hell they're doing. That's why they're going to have three linebackers, though, for the most part, to stop the run, but they're going to disguise more, and it's not going to be as vanilla as Dan Quinn's defense.
Paul, a rebuttal?
Like, I tend to think when you look at like some Micah Parsons in particular, he was brought in to be a linebacker. Then he's now been like under Dan Quinn. He was shifted from DN, then he was middle linebacker, back and forth. And we even played him at basically dropping back into a corner position at one point. So I kind of like somewhat disagree with you on that, but I can see where you're coming from. So I think it's like, how would I say it? It's like, I do think Zimmer does take a more simplified approach to his defense. He's very traditional in that stance, whereas Dan Quinn, like even when you look back in Seattle, like he did kind of have that with Bobby Wagner, etc. Like he had players kind of moving about quite a lot. But yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong answer really. Like.
And my not gripe, but my contest of it is, Dan Quinn's defense is, it's kind of a Tampa 2 and a 3 high defense. So they show you what they're gonna do, and they rely on the pressure of their base 4. I think Dan Quinn is gonna disguise what he's seeing. He's gonna show you ass, and then he's gonna give you tips. And that's what the quarterback's gonna get. That's why Mike Nolan didn't work, because he didn't have the players, and he schemed too much. Yeah. And he schemed too much, and we didn't have the right pieces. Now we have the right pieces and in the right places to play this scheme, and that's why Dan Quinn was so successful, because he kept it simple, stupid, and that's what the concept of his defense was. I'm not here to be like, oh, I know more than you, but at all. But from what the installation is and what you hear from Cam and what you know with Mike Zimmer, he's going to bring a nuance of disguise to our defense, and he's keeping.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that perception. Like, because every defensive coordinator has a different way of disguising things. That I completely agree with. But I think just based on like you're not switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3 defense, like that type of disguise, Dan Quinn did that really masterfully. So I think from that simplistic point of view, like what you see is what you're going to get on the field. There's not going to be a massive mix-up from that regard. So I think that's what I was trying to interpret. So I do apologize from that.
Don't ever apologize. Barbershop, baby. Cowboy Up Podcast. Like, subscribe, press that ding ding, follow us. This is what we do.
21. What you think about Mike Zimmer's defense today?
For me, it's really watching you said it earlier, your guy Mazi, that run stop. I really want to see what we can do. That was the big issue last year. I want to see what he does with that run game, right? Are we going to stop it this season? Is that the focal point, for how we drafted? I think Mazi's backup, Rodgers.
Yes, Justin Rodgers. Yep.
From Kentucky, Kentucky via Auburn.
Yeah. So
you've also got Carl Davis Jr. as well, who seems to be back up to that as well.
So I want to see what he brings there in that area, right? So to me, that's one of the big focal points. Coming off of last year's Green Bay debacle where they just ran all over us. We have to address that. So I want to see what Mike does there in that section of the D line.
Yeah, right. So Cowboy Corner. Real quick question. Okay, out of all of the draft picks, this past draft, who are you looking forward to seeing today? The most of all, out of the draft picks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at the bottom of the draft here. I'm looking at Nathan Thomas, and I'm looking at Rodgers, the tackle out of Auburn. Those are the two guys I'm looking at. Zach Martin's already complicating retirement. So if Nathan Thomas can come in here and make an impact being a late 6th-round pick, count me in. Sign me up. So I'm watching. And then if Justin Rodgers come in and be a compliment to what we think Mozzie Smith can be coming in with this new coaching staff and this new scheme. He's already looking fast off the ball. Mozzie is. I just need to see when the lights are on, can that translate over? And I need a good compliment in Justin Rogers from Auburn to go up there and do that. And Paul, I do apologize calling the UK guy. I actually wrote your name on my Sonic cup because I don't have a pen in front of me. So I was like, his name's Paul. His name's Paul. So,
The UK guy.
That's awesome. Hey,
Don't worry, I've been called worse. Don't worry.
hey, I want to give a shameless plug real quick though. Okay, guess who had their own feature for the Dallas Cowboys? It's Paul. If you Google it,
Cowboys.com. Yes, he did.
go to Cowboys.com. He has his own feature on football and life in Scotland, playing ball and being a Cowboy fan. You guys need to check it out. He's all bashful about it, but dude, it is awesome. It is awesome.
The reason I'm a wee
It
bit,
is my island.
like the reason I'm a wee bit embarrassed about it because I was absolutely drunk as hell when I shook Jerry Jones's hand.
Hey, sounds like our friends up north.
Oh man,
Can fan, yeah, he's been hanging out with the Can fan too much.
oh no, oh yeah, especially AJ. Oh my god,
Dude, that's all I gotta say, dude.
But that was my shameless plug for everybody who's watching who doesn't follow the UK Cowboys or the world team.
I remember we used to call me and him used to call Talking Cowboys. He would get on and then I would get on. This was like 5-6 years back. Ain't that right, Paul?
yeah, like you're talking about beforehand, yeah.
Yeah, when we used to call in, we used to do our call-ins and Talking Cowboys, like to Mickey's show when it was Mickey's show, and we would do our call-in.
Yeah, I did. It was mostly hanging with the boys with Shannon Rose, who's one of my good friends. So I always call in and see how he's doing, and just kind of like throw in my wee plug in with him and Nate Newton and stuff like that. So that's all.
Isn't Jesse Holly one of the most corny SOBs you ever met? He's calling himself the Salt and Pepper Poppy. And then he has the nerve to call tacos overrated. I'm sorry. My God. Anyway.
Well, I will speak. I freaking love tacos, so I love them.
I love you, Paul.
So Paul, which of the rookies, man, are you looking forward to seeing?
Right, so I think this is maybe a little bit of an underrated one, but I'm really interested to see how he's going to command the linebacker core. It's Maris Lauerfu. I really want to see how I want to see that particular. Like he had that leadership qualities when he was at Notre Dame, so I want to see how he's going to interpret that because obviously we've got the guy like Eric Kendrick, so obviously as a veteran, he knows Zimmer's mindset, what he's expected of his players to be in that position. So I'm really interested to see how well he's going to be like that sponge, gaining all that knowledge of the playbook and help direct our linebacker core, whether it's dropping back into coverage or it's coming up to the blitz. So I'm very interested to see that.
Okay. 21. Which of the rookies are you looking forward to seeing?
I talked about it earlier. Guyton is definitely that top rookie that I want to see in that left tackle. Another one is Cooper Beebe. I want to see if we see him in there. You know, I do want to see Cooper Beebe. I don't know where we're going to see him at, right? I'm hoping, you know, our guy Brock is out there as well, but, you know, he's, you know, so maybe we'll see him after, you know, so Cooper Beebe is another one, you know, especially with the big expectations, I think, with Cooper, you know, so definitely Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton.
All right. Now mine is Nealon. I want to see Nealon. Okay. And the reason why I you know, because how many times, I mean, you can just count the number of times you watch Western Michigan football. That's many times I've watched them. So it's for him to be a second round pick, the guy got to be something, right? Because he's got to get playing time, especially since Sam is hurt. We need to see what he has. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Nealon on the field today. See what he got. Is he going to be a run stopping end, or is he going to have any kind of pass rushing skills? I'm really curious about him today. And then my second guy is also Cooper Beebe, also because, you know, I got that thing. I play center. So I tell people, everybody always say it's so easy, man. Bring the guard to center. Bring him to center. Center is the easiest. It is fucking not. I'm sorry for my language. It is not.
It's not. It's not. I've had a dive at center. I hated it. Like, put me at guard, I loved it, but at center, no, because everything starts from the center position. Everyone says quarterback's the most important position. Yeah,
No.
like
Yeah.
I believe it's center. If the center can't snap the ball correctly, you're screwed. I'm sorry. It all
Right.
starts with the center.
Yeah, and guys, if y'all want to watch Paul's feature, I just put the link in the comments also. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing BB2, man. You know, just to see if he's transitioning correctly, because I know what Ruth said at one time. I'm like, man, I want my best five regardless on the offensive line. We need that Great Wall of Dallas back, because when we had that Great Wall of Dallas, man, our running game was on fire, and that what made number 4 more comfortable is when the running game is on fire. Okay, so I just and that's another thing, because this has been 21's main focus of this season is the
Yes,
running back
sir.
room. He's been talking about the running back room the whole summer. So 21,
Stick to it.
go ahead, talk about that running back room. Who are you looking at for?
I want to see Rico Dowdle out there. I'm hoping we get to see a little bit of him. I want to see if he has that explosiveness. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we'll see him out there, but you know, I do want to see, you know, what he has, right? Obviously, we saw glimpses and flashes here and there, right? I also want to see Deuce Vaughn. I know Deuce Vaughn, they're implementing him a lot in some of those wide receiver packages, I guess. So I want to see what kind of packages is out there, because you know we talk about Deuce and we know he's there, but he's not there. You know, so I want to see what they have in store for him. And then who else we have? Malik Davis. Malik Davis, I know that's another one. Yeah, I think he was having a good training camp. You know, so
He was great in scrimmage, really good in scrimmage.
So definitely want to see him out there. And you know, I'm thinking we're gonna see more Malik than anything. You know, so hopefully we'll get to see what he has, right?
Does anybody know an active or inactive list? Because I know Deuce was not practicing the last couple practices. I don't know if he's playing today or not. I have no clue.
As far as I know, that Royce Freeman is questionable. That's all I
He
know.
is ankle.
Yeah, okay. Mikey, what you think about this running back room today?
Well, first, the rookies I want to see is
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to ask. I'm sorry. Mike. I
It's all
apologize.
good. That's all good. But kind of in the same effect, what corner iterated about, you know, fighting. You know, there's grimace that you hear things that, you know, this could be Zach Martin's last year. I want to stay pat that, you know, Brock Hoffman's going to be our center, and that Cooper Beebe is going to be the guy taking the mantle next year if we don't see Martin there anymore. But as far as the running game, you know, our inactive list, we're not going to see Zeke. Obviously, we're not going to see Rico, but the kid they picked up from Stanford in Missouri. You can't bring on my name. The 4-3 kid. Him and Malik Davis. We need that explosive.
Is it Snoop?
Snoop Connor.
Is
Is that his name? Corner. Do
Snoop
you remember
Connor?
his name? Snoop.
Connor? Yeah,
Yeah.
Connor.
Yeah.
Yes, Connor. I want to see that explosiveness. We just want to see a semblance of of a running game from what we had, and what our blocking looks like. How they gonna attack it? How is our play calling? Because play calling has a lot to do with the rhythm of what we do, and that's a big thing on how our running game is being used, if we're even going to use it, because like I said, we get addicted to that pass crack and we go away from that running game. So we need to see a semblance of it by our play caller. But I want to see Carter. I want to see Malik. But I want to see our offensive line and their schemes they do to use. And if Hunter Lupke's going to be in there blocking, being a Moose Johnson back there, I want to see the scheme and how they use him. Or if they're gonna move him like a halfback what a halfback was, like half tight end, half running back, and then move him on a wham or on a trap. I want to see it. Kind of what Kyle Leonard did.
Right. Hey, welcome, Cowboys champs. What's up, man? Welcome to the
What's
Cowboy
up? What's
Podcast,
up,
man.
guys? How y'all doing today?
So,
Man,
Chad.
fine, champ. Say, man, champ. This is a question when you jumped in, man. We're talking about the running back room, man. Are you looking forward to seeing them today? And who are you out of the group? Which one are you looking more forward to seeing?
To be brutally honest, I'm looking for the running back who's not on the team for when they pick up.
Okay.
Interesting.
But I'm looking at Pete,
Okay.
Nathaniel Pete from Missouri.
Missouri.
Uh-huh.
I want to see how he do. Definitely want to see how Rico Dow will do as well.
Okay. Okay, Rico. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because this, besides the defensive tackle position, this is the weakest position on the team. But
right.
we'll see.
Yeah.
And like what Mikey said, let's see what the coaches do with these particular running backs. Are these particular running backs going to match the West Coast system that McCarthy using, or is he all talk like he was last year?
Well, it was a lot of talk going on, wasn't it?
Lot of talk.
And not enough running. it was a lot of talk, not enough running. So any particular thing in this game? We'll start with you, Paul. Now, champ. Now, Paul is over there in Glasgow, Scotland, man. You know,
What's up, man?
He's part of the World's Team Podcast and the UK Cowboy Podcast.
Okay.
And you guys need to check them out, man. They're wonderful. They're on all social media. X, these on Facebook and also TikTok. You check them out. So, Paul,
Yes.
any other particular thing you're looking forward to today?
I think I've kind of more or less said, like I also mentioned about like the battle of the wide receivers. I'm really interested to see excuse me, Tyler Billy Johnson. He's had a standout training camp. Obviously, the last week or so he got a little bit quieter. I want to see him make that step back up again. I want to see like some Morano Cropper and like some Jalen Tolbert, who has been pretty good this training camp. Like it seems to be, this has actually been a good blessing for all the other wide receivers getting all these extra snaps without CeeDee Lamb being there. At least we know that when CeeDee Lamb eventually come back, he's going to be injury free. But at least we now got a lot more trust with Dak Prescott and these other wide receivers. So I'm very interested to see who is going to take that next level and become that part of that main roster. So I'm really interested in that.
Okay, 520.
Hey man, it's cool to have Jon Snow on. It's just awesome. Jon Snow, the battle of the wide receiver. Oh, it's fucking awesome. But like, believe it or not, I want to see what Trey Lance does under these lights, because it's still in our best interest for him to be good. That we didn't waste that 4th round pick. That if and I'm sorry to say it, and it's been the cavity in our ass of these unsigned guys. And if we lose Dak Prescott potentially, not because we want it or some do or some don't, that we have that contingency plan, and he was that contingency plan. That's why we buy insurance for our cars. We don't buy insurance for our cars because we're gonna go fucking wreck our car, but that's why we got it. So we need to see what our 4th round investment was. And you know what? As much as we give Corner shit because Corner has his side of the debate, in the long run, that's still our insurance, and we need it because if things go to shit and we don't have a quarterback.
Well, first of all, I don't want to hear any more car references. I had enough of that last night on Corner Show. Champ, is there any particular thing you're looking forward to in today's preseason?
I'm looking at defensive tackle position, how they're going to set up for the linebackers and the pass rusher, because the that triangle, the two defensive tackles and that linebacker on the outside, really those are the key area where they take what the defense do, far as pushing it or with a side to side speed. And I'm also looking at the offensive line too, especially on the left side.
Right.
And Trey Lance.
Okay. Trey in the offensive line and that defense. So we got a lot of things to watch today, don't we? Hey,
Bye, guys. I gotta go. Bye.
Okay, all right, Mike. Peace.
See you, Mikey.
Yeah. So it's a lot of things to watch. So Cowboy Corner, man. Anything particular that you're looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. So your offensive captain for today's game is Trey Lance. Your defensive captain is Damone Clark. Your special teams captain is Tyron Buddy Johnson. My sources are telling me that Cooper Rush will play one quarter, the first quarter. Cooper Rush will start the game, play one quarter, and Trey Lance will play the second, third, and fourth quarter. I'm also saying that Zeke will not even play today, so Zeke's already written in. That's alarming to me. That's bull crap. That's not even a fair competition. So Zeke not playing. So you'll get everybody that we brought up outside of Zeke is gonna be getting some good things. But little vote of confidence from my man Trey Lance getting their team captain on the offense today. Gotta like that.
Yeah, I'm glad. I honestly wanted him to play all four quarters. I really did. I mean, just like before Mikey left, we all, especially me, got a different opinion about Trey Lance than a lot of folks, and I want to see him. You want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
I want to. Hey, excuse me. Hi, mommy. How you doing, y'all? Y'all say hi to my mama.
Hi.
So I want to be on. I want to see Trey also perform well too, man. Because when you see videos of training camp where he's throwing picks and everything, but even in the scrimmage, he actually played better in the scrimmage than he did more in practice. But we're gonna see. We got 3 quarters of him, so I really wanted him to play all 4. I really did. We know what Cooper Rush got. We know that. We don't know what Trey got, and then I don't even know what is the 4th string quarterback that's in camp. We know he ain't gonna make the team. I forget his name.
We don't have a 4th string.
We don't.
I thought we had 4 guys. Wow. So we only got those 3.
Yeah.
We carried 3 last year too.
Okay. 21. Anything in particular? Something that's going to catch your eye, and you're just like, this is what I'm focusing on today.
I do want to see that first drive. I want to see how they flow. I want to see that flow of the offensive line with Cooper Rush. Because if you're telling me that Cooper Rush is gonna get that first quarter, that's our second string quarterback right there, right? So I want to see that flow. And obviously another thing is we haven't talked about is that tight end group. That tight end group, I want to see what we see there. I don't think Ferguson is gonna play, but we'll see. Will we see Schoonmaker out there, and then who else? Hendershot.
Hendershot's got a lot to make up for, really, because he's
Yeah.
missed a bit out. Then you've got John Stevens Jr. as well.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's a really great point you just made there, Armando. Like, tight end's not one we've actually been talking about, because that seems to be the most comfortable position that we've been. Like, who would have thought of all these years? Like, tight end seems to be the most solid.
Comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So
You know what?
Go ahead.
I really hate this, but Cowboys drafting Michigan players, kind of like a bust.
Listen. I kind of slightly debunked that early on, because one of the best players in our training camp this year has actually been Jordan Lewis, of all people, which I'm surprised. So there might be some light at the end of the tunnel here for Michigan players. There might be some light.
Try to draw you outside, big fella. You try to draw you outside, big fella.
I know Champ put that shot across my bow. I know he did. He gave me the hard count. Hey, Champs, I'm used to it because they have underperformed. It's the truth. It has. I'm the one that's going to tell you the truth. They have. That's why I said my key person today is Mozzie. Okay,
You know what?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm in Dallas, of course, and they just showed Mozzie on TV. They got him weighing 337.
He's not.
Ooh, that was his
What?
rookie weight. That's not a real weight.
Yeah, that's what they got. He don't like no 337. Now, last year when the Cowboys drafted Mozzie, I was happy with the pick because the Cowboys finally got a defensive tackle, a one technique.
In
I've
the
been
first
screaming
round.
about that for the past 10 years. The way that Dan Quinn had him to lose weight to make him to a three technique. And then they try to throw this kid under the bus because of mental problems, softness, and all that. Uh, he has a lot to prove this year.
Now, champs, I'm with you because I'm a Michigan fan. I watch
I'm sorry.
every. No, don't be sorry because they the national champions. So I watched every snap Mozzie had in his career at Michigan, and when he was at Michigan, he was a true 330, 340 guy. He played on the nose. He played that zero technique, and you couldn't move him. You couldn't. And when I met Mozzie last year in Dallas at that sports con, and I looked at and I'm 330 myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was bigger than Mozzie. And I was like, how can you play one technique in the NFL if I weigh more than you? If you're under 300 pounds in the one technique, man, you got to be the Hall of Famer like my guy from Minnesota, Randall. If you're
Joe,
not
yeah, Joe Duranda, yeah.
if you're not a Randall guy, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I got to get set up for my live stream.
Oh yeah, I understand.
I got to get that set up. So thank you for having me.
Okay.
Little picture Cowboys. Thank you,
All
you
right.
guys.
All right,
Nice
cool.
meeting you, man.
All right, so
Nice meeting you,
like
Paul.
Paul, your son. Look at your Sonic cup. So like I was saying, you know, man, when I met him and I saw how small and how much weight he lost, I was like, what's going on, right? And I was like, and like you said, when they tried to move him at 3, he's not a 3. He's an on the nose guy. He protects linebackers and everything. So and then when last year he grossly underperformed on the field, not getting on the field and everything like that. And the first thing you thought of was Taco Charlton. I'm so disgusted with Taco Charlton because Taco Charlton came in the league and didn't want to play football. He didn't want to play football, man. You can tell because even when he went to other teams kept trying to give him opportunities. You're a number 1 pick, man. I know we got something here, and he had nothing because he didn't want to play no football. He ain't had no fucking heart. Excuse my language. He ain't had no heart, and then it made every other Michigan player look bad. And then when you get Schoonmaker, you get drafted Schoonmaker, and they was like, "Oh, here's another Michigan player." But Schoonmaker got hurt last year.
Yeah,
he got hurt. So you automatically think he's a bust because he got hurt, and then Mozzie underperformed. So then you get that thing, hey, Michigan players can't do this. Well, they can do something because shit, it was on Mozzie's team, it was 17 Michigan players drafted in the NFL, and then next year on Schoonmaker, it was 14. So Michigan players can play. It just for some reason in Dallas, they've been getting a bad rap.
Yeah.
Now my Schoonmaker, the pick, I was not happy with that pick because I wanted the Cowboys to get a running back.
Yeah,
that was the position who they should have got a running back, and you will be having this problem about bringing Zeke back and having the running back problem that you have right now, and that goes on the idiot GM.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of the Cowboys' second round picks can be questionable. We've drafted so many tight ends in the second round. we drafted so many tight ends in the second round. You know, I didn't think Scooney was gonna go second round, but hey, he did. But like I say, be patient with Scooney too. You know, but I really want to see Mozzie. Paul, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like. I think it's quite interesting when it comes to like some Mozzie Smith. We've talked about his way under Dan Quinn and stuff like that. But see if you look at the history under Mike Zimmer, like he's always had a robust front four, like throughout his whole career. like when he's at Minnesota as the head coach and even as defensive coordinator at Cincinnati, had like Geno Atkins, etc., under his wing and stuff like that. So when you take that into consideration, like you need to do things. It's like, okay, what can Dan Quinn, sorry, I do apologize, Mike Zimmer, what can Mike Zimmer do to help elevate our front four by making them stick to that position, being that 1-0 technique, pretty much. Like, tell Mazzy what exactly he needs to work on, like rather than try and do more than what is expected of him. Like it goes back to the whole Bill Belichick, just do your job, like do what you were brought in to initially do, which was stuff the run and take up the double teams and just be a complete bulldozer, pretty much. Like we didn't get to see that last year with Mazzy Smith, so I hope that Zimmer took that in consideration, and obviously we saw the reports. Mazzy has put weight more back on, and hopefully that might actually start for him to flourish going forward, and we actually get to see the true Mazzy Smith coming into the season.
Right, yeah, because I really think the defensive line is truly important, especially after that debacle in Green Bay when they just run at Green Bay at home and they just run up and down the field on us, man. And we've been bitching on our podcast about our linebackers being light in the ass and not we got safety
depth, Chris, just depth, and that's still a question.
And you know who fault that was? Dan Quinn. He making safeties into linebackers. That's what. Now that's what I told about 2 years ago. I told people on my channel the way that Dan Quinn ran his defense is all about stopping the pass. Your offense has to be able to pound the ball, run that clock, and score. If your offense can't do that, Dan Quinn defense is useless.
Right.
Like, because when you look at the comparisons when we had Ron Marinelli back at the time, he was so purely run focused as well. Like he was very split between stopping the run and the pass. Like you see that, like that's how we got the moniker. Like, and I don't want to reuse it, and we don't want it ever to come back. It's the Hot Boys. Remember that?
I hated that.
I mean, I didn't like it. So I thought it was corny, but at the time, we were good. We were getting the sacks, we were getting the tackles for loss in the run game, etc. And it seemed to have disappeared. Hopefully that comes back this year.
Yeah.
So
well, not the title Hot Boys, but that mentality. Yes.
Champs, you are correct, Champ. That mentality. Now, Champs. This is and me and Armando. We talked on our show about this, about the Cowboys having that nasty, pissed off guy on defense. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the world famous DeMarcus Lawrence go on national TV, said we were tired and everything, and it just sounded so soft to me. I was pissed off instantly. So my question is, like I said, because me and 21 in our group, we talked about this. Who on the defense can be Mr. Nasty Time to bring that attitude to the defense?
Now, y'all might disagree with me with this, but number 11 is going to have to be that person to bring that nastiness to this team. He's the one, instead of him being on his podcast, doing whatever his marketing is, he's going to have to show that he got to be that dog. He's going to have to lead that mentality dog personality and have it spread throughout the rest of the team. Because D-Law, that's old news. That's old news.
Okay.
But D-Law, and then maybe he can pass that to Overshawn, to what's the second round pick from this year, the defensive end?
Neyland.
Marshawn Neyland.
Yeah, Neyland, get the young kids, get that nastiness to them. Because the old heads, they're drunk with the Cowboys culture. They got to be removed. And if Parsons, if he's stuck on that Cowboy culture, hate to say it, but he got to be removed too, because this team, especially on defense, you got to have that nastiness. Like from 92, 94, that defense, like the remember the 2000 Ravens?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Matter of fact, I hate to say it, but even the 49ers got a little nastiness to their defense.
Right.
Just the
Yeah.
mentality. That's what the Cowboys have, and it really starts with your coaching.
Right.
I agree.
So
Totally agree.
Paul, who do you think can bring Mr. Nasty Time back to this defense?
Well, Champ's already kind of mentioned him in that, and I think him being a Texas boy himself is the Marion Overshawn because he understands what the Cowboys is all about. So I think with him, just like from a personal standpoint, he has that personal connection with the Cowboys. He doesn't want to fail as a player, and he can bring that drive. And we've seen that, like even just during practice, he brings intensity. Whether he'll get all the opportunities as of right now, but going forward, if he becomes like a full-time starter in that linebacker core, I mean, I want to see him actually being the aggressor, the one that brings that Des Bryant attitude on the defensive side of the ball. That's what I would love to see, and hopefully that could feed off all the other players. I mean, we've had some glimpses from other players before. Who was the safety? We had, what's his name?
Bell.
No, it was only a couple of seasons ago. He was a hard hitting safety. He would always come down and just take people out.
Not Curtis.
Sorry,
Was it Curtis? What's it? Curtis.
Jalen. It wasn't Curtis. It was the other one. It was, what's his name again? I need to get his name now.
Wilson.
David Wilson.
I think it was Wilson because Wilson actually brought some really good hits, and even though he may get flagged for being too aggressive sometimes, but you just want to see that glimpse of like
nastiness.
Exactly. And that seems to be what's missing right now. Oh, speaking of which, there is AJ. Oh, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's actually sober, even writing that.
Well, the text is sober. We don't know if he's sober, but the text is
sober. hey, 21. Who are you looking to see to bring back that nastiness?
Man, Big Osa, in that front line. I think Big Osa is gonna, we've seen it, and I think he's gonna keep, bringing it. But Big Osa, and definitely would love to see Overshown, come back healthy and be that Mr. Nasty, right? That we need, because we do need grit in this defense. We need some, we need them to get out there and be feared, right? You want your opponent to go out there and be like, okay, we're playing this nasty defense, right? We got to be ready. And I think in these past years, it's kind of not been there. Everybody knows who Micah is. They know they got a scheme for Micah, but that's about it, right? So you want them to go out there and be like, think about not just Micah, but this whole defense. And
I find an interesting point to point out as well. I don't think we just need one guy. I think we need one person per position group. Like you've got Diggs for the corners already. He's got that attitude, I think, personally. But with the linebacker core, that's still a question mark. With the defensive line, obviously the front runner is Parsons, but I'm pretty sure if someone was to step up, then bring that nastiness, then I think that you need someone in the group positions to kind of elevate and therefore come together as a collective.
All right.
You know what? I got. I'm sorry. The linebacker from Notre Dame, the rookie,
Morris Laverfeu.
Yeah, the next tribal chief. Yeah, he's the one. Yeah, he's the one that's going to have to. I think something about this kid. At first, I ain't like the pick, but the more I watch this kid, man, this kid might be a surprise.
Yeah,
right.
So that's another thing people need to look out for. He might have some nastiness.
Yeah, the one thing I love about Lauerford is the fact that he's not, well, we don't know yet, but he gives me that Sean Lee intelligence about him.
Yeah,
like he's a studier of the game, and that's what I love about him. So I think he'll bring that quality to it.
Right. So we almost nearing kickoff. So let's get our final thoughts, man. We'll start with you, Champs. Your final thoughts before the game.
Well, win or lose, look at certain individuals and see if they can step up to the plate. Because if not, this is going to be a long season, and I hope I'm wrong.
All right. Paul, your final thoughts for the game, man.
I don't want to see any penalties or false starts from the offensive line. That's a big one.
All right. 21, your final thoughts for today's game.
it's preseason, right? So I like Champ said, let's focus on these individual players and who we drafted, right? So definitely looking out for those. So win or lose, it's Cowboys all day, every day, and like Mikey always says, if you don't know about us, check us out. Cowboy Up Podcast, the World's Team Podcast. Check out my boy Champ. Subscribe, like, all that.
All right. And my final thoughts, man, is this: football is back.
Football
We
is
get to
back,
see
baby.
that star on the field. Football
Finally.
is back. It
Finally.
is back. Thank you, Lord. It is back. So preseason, postseason, I don't care. As long as, man, that pigskin is on there and that star is on the TV, I'm excited. So, man, like we always say, everybody, man, thanks for joining us, man. Like, subscribe, man, tune in. Hey, Champ, tell them where they can find you, man, real quick before we get out of here.
Man, one word, Cowboys champs.
All right. And Paul, share your socials.
Yeah, so you can follow me individually at IMP Stu, Twitter and X and Instagram, and also with the World's Team podcast and the UK Cowboys Fans podcast as well.
All right. And y'all know where to follow 21. He got 3,450,000 followers on TikTok, so you can't miss him at all. But hey, man, like we always say at the end of the show, Dallas Cowboys for life.
For life.
Cowboys.
Pulo Pinches Cowboys. Peace.
This is what we're doing now. We're just gonna make stuff up. We're just gonna be off the cuff. It's just gonna be wild. And this is crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans, from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to say something profound. Like he's gonna drop the mic. He's gonna give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
Extra thought on it. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!